seventh-generation fighter jet that will destroy Russia. The aircraft technology was taken to the next level with the idea of sixth-generation fighter jets. But that wasn't enough, so the developers came up with more innovative ideas. However, this time it wasn't human beings. The unexpected happened, and a neural network suggested the idea. The new designs for fighter jets shocked the world. What is that fighter jet technology that's even ready to destroy Russia? The scheme of combining multi-directional characteristics in one aircraft seems impossible. Therefore, next-generation air dominance was started to develop seventh-generation aircraft. What features would these aircraft have? How far could seventh-generation aircrafts go? And how would these aircraft break through today's aircraft technology? Let's dive in and find the answers to these questions. Russia and China are trying to make more suitable engines for their fifth-generation fighters, whereas Britain, Germany, Japan, and the USA are working on their sixth-generation fighters. But the USA's taken the lead and advancing more than anyone. They are working on increased secrecy test of a prototype of a promising fighter. The serial production of the sixth-generation fighter hasn't started yet, but to our surprise, the development of the seventh-generation fighter has begun. The seventh generation took technology to the next level. Let's see how below. The program Next Generation Dominance is currently in the development stage of production. The next stage of initial operational capability, IOC, will begin the launch of production sites for components and the creation of an assembly shop. The main stage that's associated with the key technologies of seventh-generation fighter jets already advancing at high speed. This stage marked a technological breakthrough as it allows one to create aircraft 10 times faster compared to the advent of the F-22 or F-35. At this point, we see the use of artificial intelligence. The USA has used AI in all stages of creating the seventh-generation aircraft, from the birth of an idea to the setting of a combat mission, even the simulation of combat situations based on real air battles. Everything is done with the use of artificial intelligence. This is making history as it was the first time the task was formulated not by generals but by a neural network. Are you wondering why AI is being used this time? The US has used artificial intelligence because it appears this tech already understands how future conflicts will play out and what characteristics a fighter jet should possess for warfare. In addition to performing strategic and tactical jobs, AI has sped up development at the most challenging stages, which typically takes 90% as long. Additionally, AI can think about several aircrafts at once, which can't be claimed by engineers and designers. Finally, in addition to airframe and power plant simulation, AI is also able to foresee the capabilities of future aircraft in the air. The advantages don't stop there, though. Future aircraft can be tested by pilots thanks to neural network assistance from reality modeling. But the most important aspect is that AI doesn't just build aircrafts. It also takes into account the next stage of technological advancement and the availability of new materials or alloys. A person's job in the NGAD program is to quickly feed a neural network different types of data, while the role of high-ranking military officials consists exclusively in the assessment of the results obtained, resulting in the parallel creation of fighters of sixth and seventh generations. But how will they destroy Russia? We all know how powerful Russia is, and it's not easy to destroy it. The question is how the seventh-generation fighter will destroy Russia. We're all aware of how strong and technologically advanced Russia is when it comes to fighter jets. The Su-57, a twin-engine stealth multi-role fighter aircraft built by Sukhoi, is the most modern fighter aircraft in Russia. Without a doubt, the Sukhoi Su-57 is one of the best fighter jets, but the USA's advanced seventh-generation fighter can overthrow Russia. The USA's benefited from the deployment of artificial intelligence in various ways. The United States can examine upcoming aircraft technologies and problems, which is something other countries can't do. Designers and engineers are limited in comparison to AI. Given the existing circumstances, it would appear that AI-designed seventh-generation jets would be able to defeat not only Russia's fighter jets, but also all other fighter jets. The USA is developing its next-generation fighter jets with the use of AI, while other nations are still developing their fifth-generation aircrafts. This will enable the USA to conquer Russia and other nations. But what characteristics of the seventh generation's features give it its strength as a jet? Shall we examine the traits of a jet fighter from the seventh generation? Before we go further, let's see how seventh generation fighters differ from sixth generation jets. To understand how the first differs from the second, we first give 5 mandatory qualities for the sixth generation aircraft. Firstly, the sixth generation aircraft would be optionally manned, with the same airframe able to fly remote controlled, piloted, or onboard artificial intelligence controlled missions. Secondly, they will have increased human system interaction, replacing traditional instrument panels with virtual cockpits provided via helmet-mounted displays that give the pilot 360-degree visibility and battlefield awareness. Thirdly, they will have modern variable cycle engines that can generate great thrust when needed while cruising efficiently. Fourthly, they consist of BVR weaponry and stand off with increased range. And lastly, the ability of potential usage of lasers, CIWSs, and other directed energy weapons. The attributes have a somewhat modified composition for the 7th generation of combat jets. For example, Russia's most modern air defense system, the S-500, is effective up to about 124 miles above sea level, which is the upper limit that can be reached by a 7th generation fighter. As a result, the major location of its application will be close to space on the edge of the most advanced air defense's range of effectiveness, meaning that the flight altitude and super spread of this fighter are more crucial than stealth features. Which stealth features do you think should be compromised for speed qualities? The 7th generation fighter focuses on speed, and its design is defined by speed. Let's see the design of the 7th generation fighter jet. The 7th generation jet fighter's hypersonic speed hints that the fighter will have a specific look. The T-65 X-Wing space fighter from George Lucas's Star Wars may have influenced the design of 7th generation fighters, but the new aircraft will operate mostly in atmospheric conditions rather than in entirely vacuumed space. Shortly, space exploration will be conducted regularly, so the structure needs to be strong enough to endure the mechanical and heat strains brought on by these movements. First and foremost, the 7th generation fighter jet's aerodynamic design needs to be able to fly at speeds faster than supersonic. Titanium, ceramic, and composite materials make up the airframe of a 7th generation fighter. The aircraft will have a volumetric air intake and sweeping ring. To reduce additional heating spots in hypersonic modes, the payload will be housed inside the aerodynamic fuselage. With this design, the 7th generation fighter will be able to conduct lightning strikes, particularly against significant targets. The hypersonic speed of the 7th generation can do wonders. Do you think a jet can travel the Atlantic Ocean in 1 hour? It might not be possible for us, but it could be for a 7th generation fighter. The 7th generation fighter jet will be able to cross the Atlantic Ocean in about 1 hour thanks to its hypersonic speed. The 7th generation fighter will fly at speeds that are subsonic, supersonic, and hypersonic. The engine of the 7th generation fighter jet was made to take part in hypersonic speed ranges. Do you know the engines of 7th generation fighters are different from other fighter jets? A ramjet engine was created for hypersonic flight since the characteristics of conventional turbojet engines prevent a fighter from achieving hypersonic flight speeds at the same time. Because a ramjet engine requires beginning acceleration, it cannot be installed in a single aircraft. Since hypersonic speed is essential to the fighter, this 7th generation fighter jet will only be commanded remotely while traveling at hypersonic speed in an unmanned autonomous mode. The 7th generation fighter is the real fighter that's taking technology to the next level. Do you think Russia would be able to beat the 7th generation fighter jets? Although technology is constantly evolving, the United States took it a step further by using artificial intelligence to build its 7th generation fighter plane. The USA's sophisticated fighter jets are designed to destroy their targets at all costs. This advancement might allow the USA to destroy Russia, but we can't ignore the fact that Russia is one of the most powerful countries in the world. Do you think Russia will develop a fighter jet better than the 7th generation jet? If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to see more just like it. You can stay up to date with our videos by turning on the notification feature.